Yeah, so Devil Aim for Me is our first of these, like, just when we hit numbers of donors, we want to have these things ready to release. So since we announced this right at the beginning of the year when this idea was spawned, we don't have one ready to release yet. So we're going to work on it a little. Hopefully, moving forward, we'll just kind of we'll play these when we've got the extra time, and then just like have them in the barrel ready to fire. So let's talk a little bit about what Devil Aim for Me is first, and how it works, so that there's some context before we get into the actual character creation.
Cool.
So Devil Aim for Me is what is referred to as an incursion in the Trophy Dark system. If you haven't played Trophy Dark, that's fine. All of the requisite rules are included here. I hope that's true because I haven't played Trophy Dark, so I'm really just taking their word for it. But if you have played Trophy Dark, or if you're somebody who's familiar with it, this should be very standard. From my understanding, there's only one difference, which is that something called rituals have been relabeled as something called Becoming Myth. But otherwise, it should function exactly the same. So the way Trophy Dark games work are we will roll an assortment of 6-sided dice. We will have 2 different colors of dice, light dice and dark dice. Light dice represent us like trying to do something because of not bad reasons, and dark dice represent us trying to do something with like dark aid or with dark motive or whatever. So light dice are typically less risky. Dark dice are typically more risky. A lot of the time you'll roll a mix thereof. You could roll just all of one shade or all of the other, but a lot of the time you'll pool them together, because it is one of the type of games that we are familiar with where you roll your pool of dice and you are trying to get one or more dice at certain numbers. Like if any of your dice come up a 6, you've succeeded at that thing. So you just want to get more dice in your pool to increase the odds that you roll a success, as opposed to like adding them up and adding attributes or anything like that.
Okay.
So risk rolls are the rolls we'll make whenever you attempt a risky task in any capacity. You'll say what you want to happen. You ask all of the rest of us at the table what could possibly go wrong, and then you collect your 6-sided dice and roll for the task. So if it's something that you would be able to do because of one of your skills, which we will talk about a little more when we get into actual character building, that gets you a die. You can take another light die if you accept a Devil's Bargain, which is another thing that I think we're all familiar with from other games. Devil's Bargain can be offered by me, the GM, or by any other player at the table. They can also be vetoed by anybody at the table. You, who is being offered it, or anybody else who just isn't comfortable with that Devil's Bargain. To backtrack a little, this is a dark game. It's got dark in the name. So there will be themes that might be uncomfortable, and this is a game where lines and veils like come into play and I think are pretty essential. But thus the reason that anybody can veto anything whenever, because some uncomfortable stuff may very well come up. So you can get 1 light die if it's within your skills. You can get another if you accept a Devil's Bargain. You can add a dark die if you're willing to risk your character's mind or body for success. And anytime you use a Becoming Myth ability, which is another thing we'll talk about, you have to include a dark die for doing that. So if you want to do something that isn't covered by your character's skills, you have to accept some of the more treacherous shit if you want to be able to roll to do it at all. You know, if you want to be able to roll to ride a horse alongside of a train and jump onto the train, and none of your skills cover that at all, then either you don't get to do it, or you've got to take a Devil's Bargain and maybe risk harm to get any dice to roll for it.
Wow.
So 1 to 3 is a fail, and things get worse. or it might be a success, but things get like way worse. 4 to 5 is a mixed success, and a 6 is a full success. On a 1 through 5, I describe what goes wrong. On any type of success, you describe what the success part of it looks like. So 4 through 5 is collaborative. We're all saying, okay, this is the part, this is the complication, but how do you succeed? And you tell me how you succeed anyway. You can, if you are unhappy with a roll, add more dark dice and then re-roll. So you can keep risking and upping your chances. But there's some stuff about like when a dark die is the highest die, and we'll get to that in a second. Devil's bargains are things we're familiar with. A pitch that is, this isn't that something bad is going to happen in addition to this, or you can do this, but you're gonna get separated from your companions, or you can do this, but you're gonna lose an important item, or you can do this, but you're gonna attract unwanted attention. Just things like that. The fun thing is that the devil's bargain occurs regardless of the outcome of the roll. So if you take the bargain and you succeed, that bad thing still happens, or the catch still happens. If you take the bargain and you fail, it's just god awful for you, and that's a lot of fun. But the devil's bargain is always free. It's free choice, so you don't ever have to take one. You could ask for one, and if you don't like it, you can say, "Never mind, I'm good where I am."
Okay.
Any questions over any of these mechanics so far?
I don't think so. Yeah.
So there are, in addition to risk rolls, ruin rolls. So your ruin is tracking how much physical and mental harm your character has suffered. And it starts at 1 at minimum. So your character has been through something already by the time we start playing. When your character experiences something bad or disturbing, they'll make a ruin roll, which is rolling 1 dark die. If you have made a risk roll that included a dark die, and that one is equal to or higher than your highest light die, then it becomes a ruin roll by default. So if you ever roll a dark die that is higher than your light dice in any pool, now it's a ruin roll.
Gotcha.
And you're going to add to your ruin. Just by nature of accepting the dark things and kind of risking that, it's leading to your downfall. If you roll a dark die that is higher than your current ruin, then you add 1 to your ruin. And we have a conversation to describe how your character is declining based on that. Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it both? And you'll get a condition. So there are some conditions listed in here, and they all start at this kind of sucks. And then each time your ruin gets worse, your condition gets worse. So as you degenerate, whatever this thing is that's affecting you just stacks and stacks and stacks, and kind of becomes like the equivalent of increased conditions, until ultimately they can lead to your demise. But once your ruin reaches 5, you can start trying to reduce it by sabotaging your companions. So, yeah, once you get to 5 ruin, you can roll a light die when you sabotage, and if it's lower than your ruin, you succeed and you decrease your ruin by 1.
Okay.
And you can keep doing that just once your ruin drops below 5. You can keep trying to reduce it again at that point.
Nice.
So the game forces you to the razor's edge. It forces you to 5 before you're allowed to start doing anything to try to alleviate it. But then you can kind of keep trying to play in the middle ground as you go.
And is there, like, the couple other times I've played this, I've played a different version of it, and like the ruin was specific. It was like the forest is trying to claim you, and so that was the stuff that was happening to us. Is there a specific ruin that is part of this game?
Those that sounds to me like the conditions that you get when you take ruin.
Okay.
So that's what I was describing. Like, for example, let me find one of the conditions. The examples in the book, one of the examples is a matter of time. 6 buzzards form a perfect circle above you, circling in hot updrafts, gliding and waiting for you to fall. And then as it gets worse, you give off the smell of something already dead. Others won't get near you, and you'll be advised to sleep outside the fire circle. And then it gets worse.
Okay,
A buzzard swoops down and gets a bite off you. Like, is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah.
10 buzzards
That's
show up.
crazy.
Yeah. Except
Friends.
yeah, like what I played didn't. I don't think it had like a walkthrough list. It was just okay, how is the forest claiming you? What do you think happens based off like, oh, this was, you were trying to see a thing. How are your eyes affected by this ruin? Or you were trying to, anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think,
It's very cool.
I think these conditions are like, if you can't think of anything,
Oh,
here's an example of how these would run. Here's a breakdown of how they might get worse and at what rate. But I think we can make up our own if we feel confident doing that. Although I really like all these ones, so I'm probably going to try to use all of
those
them.
sound pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So once your ruin reaches 6, that's when your character is lost. So that's why it forces you up to 5 before it allows you to go back down, because you got to decide how willing you are to let your character hit 6 and go. It is not necessarily death. You get to talk about your last flashes of like lucidity before you run away or turn against your companions or whatever, and then you hand your character over to me, and they're under my control to do whatever they're going to do. And you either make a new character or exit the game. I don't know how we'll handle that. I suppose it might depend on how early somebody hits 6 ruin.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, well, we're 12 minutes deep. I would really love to continue playing this, so I'm gonna roll up a new person.
No, I'll just sign out of the Discord call and go, bye.
So does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Before we start trying to create characters. Cool.
I think so. I'm a little lost on some of the dice stuff, but I think that's going to just be like, I need to see it happen to understand it. So
yeah. It is kind of like, oh my God, I can't think of the name.
Tim Curry.
Yeah, it's exactly like Tim Curry.
Nice.
So you'll know when you see it.
Oh, I get it.
All right, so we can get into character creation. Character creation is a fairly simple process. And I would actually encourage you not to flesh out your characters too much, because some of the consequences and some of the roles that we'll make and things we'll encounter will inform who you are.
Okay.
It will have me ask you a question that you will answer that will inform you. And I think I can see potential reading through these where if I knew like exactly who I was and I had my whole backstory written out and everything, that there would be some of those roles and some of those questions that I'd go, this literally doesn't make sense. I can't resolve this with who my character is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think kind of the more blanks you leave, the better able to fill them in we will be.
Yeah, that's like the thing I remember about playing it before was I didn't know who the character like fully was till the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like I knew like they're a person trying to get treasure. Here's the reason they're here. Here's a couple skills they've got. And then all of the trauma and why and stuff was generated during play.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so to give you the setting, you are all bounty hunters. Sort of de facto, you will become bounty hunters when this starts, on the hunt for an outlaw named Bantam. And Bantam is kind of a legendary character at this point. Rumors abound about what he is, that he was shot dead and struck by lightning and rose again immediately, that it's because he went to the crossroads and cut a deal with a demon to have the fastest gun. People say a lot of things, but you all spot his bounty and you decide to take it up. And that is where this game will ultimately begin. So creating a character is 4 steps. Picking a name and a set of pronouns, building your background by choosing one option from 3 different lists, setting your starting ruin, and then selecting 3 abilities. So each of you has either like a physical copy or a virtual copy of a character sheet for this. So to start off with, we just need to pick names and pronouns. Does anybody have a good Wild West bounty hunter name already?
No.
Names for
I've
me
got a
almost
list.
always come like later.
I know. I've got a list of what's got to be 100 cowboy names. If anybody wants me to.
Do you?
In chat, Amanda says Amanda is a good name. Very scary. Yeah, like Kim said, like usually I pick my names later after I figure out what the character is, but
It's okay.
we're doing so little fleshing it out
Yeah.
that I think, having to work backwards.
Look, I don't know why they want you to do the character name and pronouns first. I just know that they do, and I'm not a rule breaker.
No,
so
that's fair.
It's true.
Keeper Days, Jake just always has a list of about 100 cowboy names on himself at all times.
That was his first.
that is true.
He just rolls the sleeve up
That's just down the front of my body.
like the Lord's Prayer, but just cowboy names.
I've got a whole, like a huge back piece that's like 2 revolvers crossed like this, and then just a list of 100 cowboy names, and the Stetson hat on top.
It looks like a band's tour T-shirt.
Yes, exactly.
There has been a question as to will this go up on the YouTube channel or just stay as a VOD here temporarily?
Oh yeah, if we could clip it once we're done creating characters and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Nice. I've got my name.
Okay.
I'm going with Rufus Friendly.
I love
Okay.
it.
No. I've written it down. It's official now.
Perfect. I'm gonna pull up fantasynamegenerators.com and I'll just start hitting you guys with them, and you can
First and last, or can we be like Madonna? Not like
You,
that's not the name.
you would have to be Madonna if you're
Yeah.
going to do one word.
If you want, yeah.
You can only have one word name if you are actually Madonna.
Yeah.
As long as the name is Madonna.
Yeah.
you can go by a single name as long as you know what your like full name is.
Oh, okay.
Narratively, doesn't necessarily matter what people call you, but there could be things relevant to
Yeah.
your lineage, your family, your history, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got the cowboy name generator always includes a middle name nickname,
Oh, good.
which is great. So, Samuel Quickfinger Morrison.
He's a guitarist, right?
Mm-hmm. He sure is. Maria Dawn Rider Horn. These are some sexy names.
Cool.
Thomas Smokes David. Clara Hazard Holmes. I'm gonna start mixing it up. I'm not gonna include the nickname. I'm either gonna give a name or a nickname. Amos Buckley. Thelma O'Neill. Smiley is one of the nicknames, and I think that could go well with friendly. Rufus Smiley Friendly. The Bullet.
Oh,
The Stalker. Have Mercy. That's a good nickname.
That is good.
Leonard Chapman.
Okay.
Lester Banks.
I'm gonna be Aloysius Carver.
Oh,
I
that
had an uncle named Aloysius.
did you?
Mhm.
Etta McLean.
Tumbleweedsley. Nice.
Okay.
That's one of the
George the
cowboy
Cowboy.
clowns, isn't it?
I was gonna say something, and now I'm stuttering on the first syllable, which probably isn't a good first name to pick if I have to say it a lot.
I found this generator, and these nicknames, some of them are just terrible.
Such
Just-
as?
Evil.
Hmm. That doesn't give
The
you much
devil.
to go.
Yeah.
One of them that
Killer.
I've got is Jeopardy. And I was like, that kind of sucks. And then I was like, that's kind of awesome, actually.
It is awesome. Knight Rider.
David Knight Rider Hasselhoff.
Yes. Oh, I do like Ace High as a nickname.
That's good.
I'm gonna do.
No teeth.
Seamus says Jeopardy is the given name, not the nickname, and then you can call him Jep for short. I'm gonna go with Catherine Collins.
Okay.
That's good.
Nickname to be determined.
Catherine, to be determined. Collins.
Yes, TBD Collins.
Is it Catherine with a C or a K?
TV.
After kissing Kate Barlow.
Oh, of course. Tilly Grimshaw.
Okay. Got Grim right there in the name.
Yeah.
All right. So step 2 is to build our background.
Alex Jeopardy Trebek.
Chat's been coming up with some real good ones.
Good.
Patience
All
Epithet, I think, is
caps.
very good. That's a very sweet name.
Yeah.
So to come up with backgrounds, you will select one option from the occupations list, one from the backgrounds list, and one from the drives list. There's also the option to create your own if you want to, but there's plenty of options on those lists. So up to you. So I'll read through these one by one just to see if anything jumps out at anybody. Occupations. Cowpuncher. And your occupations are tied to skills, as are your backgrounds. So the cowpuncher is skilled in
Foxes,
animal
cows.
handling. Yeah, skilled in punching cows.
It's the
Taken
wireless
names.
version of the Goose Police.
Yeah.
Cow Puncher is just an old-fashioned name for cowboy.
Skilled in animal handling, navigation, and brawling.
Animal handling.
Buffalo hunter, skilled in hunting, tracking, and long shots. The grifter, skilled in misdirection, gambling, and charm. Farmer / homesteader, skilled in endurance, meteorology, and thrift.
Oh.
Cool.
Prospector, skilled in appraisal, geology, determination. And drifter, skilled in loneliness, same, whistling, and hiding.
Well, there are 4 of these that I like, so I'll wait. I'll wait to see what everybody else says. And 2 of them I don't like.
Anybody got a strong?
What are the 4 you like, Tass?
I am not feeling grifter, and I am not feeling cowpuncher.
Okay.
Feel like I should go with Buffalo Hunter just because I'm from a Plains tribe, but like, sorry, ancestors. I want to go with either Grifter or Farmer. I think both of those sound neat.
Yeah, Grifter seems really similar to stuff I've done before, so I'm trying to steer clear of that.
Sure.
I think I enjoy Prospector.
Okay.
Yeah, I could go either Grifter or Drifter because they're the 2 I can remember since they rhyme.
Because they rhyme.
So,
Grifter,
they're the
Drifter.
2 that you can mix up constantly as we're playing.
What were the Drifter was loneliness, whistling, and
Hiding.
And Grifter was charm.
Misdirection, gambling, and charm.
I take it back. Cowpuncher's back on the list, so just quick. I don't want.
Megan, do you have a strong pull
I
between Farmer
don't.
and Grifter?
I don't. I feel like Grifter is a little further from stuff that I usually do, but I think meteorology sounds like such a cool skill.
Right?
Yeah,
That's partially why, because I liked appraisal, geology, and determination as a skill. Very open-ended.
Okay. Heads or tails?
Tails.
I'm flipping for myself.
Okay.
Tails.
Okay, so tails is going to be the 20. Heads is going to be the 1. No, wait, that just defeated the purpose of you calling it. Okay.
What?
What is the system?
I messed up the system happens to. Okay, so it was heads. So I would be the drifter.
The Drifter with a
The
D.
drifter with a D.
Drifter.
Okay.
Aloysius is Drifter. I'm on the wrong page. Tilly is Prospector.
Yeah.
Prospector.
I just tried to spell Aloysius, and it was special. Megan, what's your character?
Aloysius.
Aloysius.
Megan, who's your character? Sorry, I'll let you finish your
Already.
impossibly long straw.
Catherine Collins.
There we go.
What do you know what you're doing yet, Megan?
Nah. Either Grifter or Farmer. Homesteader.
Grifter or farmer? Okay. It was on my I don't want it list. I guess I'm going to go cowpuncher.
Okay.
I thought you put it back on the list.
Yeah, I did. It was off the list, then it was back on the list. So now is it not only back on the list? I think I'm going to go with that. Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
you gotta do farmer now so that meteorology is
I know, but
in play.
It could be so useful.
I know because I'll have meteorology and you'll have geology, and we're just set.
We're
You're
scientists.
just scientists.
And so we're walking around, and I'm like, "That's a star. That's a star." And Kim's like, "That's a rock. That's
like
a rock.
shale, granite, sandstone.
Other rock."
That's a cow. That's a cow.
I'm going to point out some of the rocks as we pass by. There's one. There's one. There's one.
This, oof, that was a cow. Oof, that was a cow.
When I went to Colorado to visit my sister and she lived there, we took a drive out to Red Rocks, and we were driving around. We got close, and she just like gestured to the window and went, "So these are rocks." Thank you. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, like of this list Buffalo Hunter is the one that I would have the most like meta knowledge of to play into character. But I never have that anyway, so I think that this works well to be like, okay, endurance, meteorology, and thrift are going to be my skills. It sounds
Okay.
Oh, nice. I have a skill in appraisal, so we can figure out what's valuable, and then we can live really cheaply.
Thrifting.
Yeah, we go thrifting.
And then we can figure out how much it's worth.
We're not going to bounty hunt. We're just going to go through like a Goodwill.
You put an antique mall in this game, right, Jake? This dark, spooky game.
I haven't done anything, but I also haven't read through every sentence, so I can't swear that there's not one.
I have a bad feeling this is going to get real silly real quick. I just had the cartoon image of Megan like, well, that's so comet.
As someone who's played Griffin before, I would say
15,000 coin.
I'm not so sure about that, but
I don't know how much room there will be to get silly in this game.
Oh, don't challenge us.
I'm not.
Yeah. Kind of like 10 candles.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is selecting backgrounds. So, rail spike driver, skilled in coordination. Pamphleteer, skilled in rabble rousing.
Ooh.
Disgraced apothecarist, skilled in medicine. Petty criminal, skilled in opportunism. Disinherited wastrel, skilled in indulgence. And spirit medium, skilled in occult communication.
Wild.
Disinherited wastrel is my real life background.
I am highly skilled in indulgence. I challenge you to find someone better.
I'm still scribbling down on my stuff. I apologize.
Sure, no problem. And again, because roles in this game are sort of action driven, like you telling me what you're trying to accomplish, I wouldn't say that there's like less opportunity for any given thing. Like, I don't know how much occult communication's written in, but I think if you say you want to do occult communication, that's what makes occult communication happen.
Mhm.
So don't worry about any of these being like, I don't know if this will come up. That's up to you. You make it come up.
Right.
Like loneliness and whistling.
And whistling.
I'm sure hiding will be very useful.
I love the idea that it's like loneliness is my skill. So at every opportunity, I'm gonna not engage with the rest of the group and go off and do my own.
I'm gonna go off by myself. As my friends go mad and wander into the desert, it won't bother me that much.
Why does this always happen? Every time I try to make friends.
Damn my impeccable skill at loneliness. Ugh. Off to find another party.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Disgraced Apothecary.
Okay.
Skilled Aloysius Dock Carver.
Okay.
Very nice. Useful. I was eyeing that one too. It seems like medicine's a good one for someone to have.
I'm glad someone took it because my only thought for that was, well, the reason I started working with cattle and stuff was because I'm like, like somebody that can't cook for one person, you cook too much. So I kept like overdosing people by accident and then realizing like, oh, this is like the perfect amount for a cow. I should just go.
I was giving them
To be
a horse tranquilizer amount.
Horse tranquilizer.
Like a human.
I should just do that instead. Oh, fuck.
I got this straw because I put stuff on my lips and I didn't want to get it all over the can. But now it's just like bubbling up and like taking drops of my soda out of the straw, and it's falling on my desk. So I'm like, do I just have to drink the whole thing really fast, or I don't know how to fix this?
You got to blow back into the straw.
But it just comes back up.
Flush it all the way out. Blow into it until you're making bubbles in your drink. I don't know if that'll fix it, but I think it'll be fun.
It's too far for the air to travel.
I was going to say, it'll take forever because the straw's a mile long.
Breathe from your like
Keep your teeth in.
engage your diaphragm.
I don't know what that means.
Breathe from here.
Oh no, I'm drinking it. I'm going the wrong way. How do we do this?
Backwards.
Oh, it's delicious. It's irresistible.
I'm gonna go rail spike driver.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
almost what I went.
That's coordination, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Seems useful.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay. Rail spike driver, you said?
Huh?
Do you have any strong thoughts, Megan?
Well, I'm thinking disinherited wastrel or petty criminal.
Okay. Those are also the two that I'm going for. So do you have strong thoughts as to which one? Do you want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
Sure, but we have to determine what means what first.
Well, I think that's
Whoever wins gets to choose?
maybe.
But neither of you can choose. That's the problem.
I've got a coin here.
I mean, I'll
Rock, paper, scissors.
yeah, I just love to play rock, paper, scissors.
I know, that's all I...
Rev's got a coin. Megan's heads and Kim's tails.
Yeah.
Okay,
There it is. We got it. Flip it.
Here. At the same time, say which one you want. Like whatever one comes to mind first that like you want to play the most. We'll say it at the same time. Okay.
There's gonna be latency. All right. One,
One,
two,
two,
three. Wastrel.
disinherited wastrel.
Here we go.
Good if we said opposite ones though.
Now you can rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Gets to be.
Okay. Wait, which way does the lag go?
I mean,
don't know. But Rev, flip a coin. That seems to be the best way
okay.
because then none of us
Like,
can see
for
it.
us, there shouldn't be like super lag in
Okay,
the
let's
actual
go
Discord
then.
channel, right?
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. Rock, paper,
Paper,
scissors.
scissors.
Shoot.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Shoot.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I won.
Cool. I'm a petty criminal.
okay. Tilly is petty criminal. Is that right?
Yes. And Catherine is a disinherited wastrel.
Mm.
Disinherit. Got it.
I like the idea of the thrifty farmer who is skilled in indulgence, like a hugely successful.
I like the idea like she had to be.
Indulgent?
No, she had to learn to be thrifty. Because she was just
So indulgent, had to become a bounty hunter to pay for it.
Exactly.
do what I gotta do.
Okay, next up is selecting a drive. So the drives are sort of specifically inform something about your character. Your drive could be to acquire a parcel of land for farming or ranching, a place they can't take from you. To find a town where no one knows you or what you've done, and start over. To prove that the boss is an outdated concept, like the divine right of kings. To get your sister out of Nag's Head jail with a well-placed bribe. To taste a bit of heaven on earth, because the preacher says there's no guarantees. To prove to your now dead father that they raised a real rattlesnake. Or to keep your family fed and in medicine. You've only got one sister left, and you can't stay at home and listen to the rattle of her breathing and do nothing.
I want to do get my sister out of jail. I think that fits pretty well with my background being a petty criminal.
Okay.
Nice. I think I want to acquire a parcel of land because I don't want to just be a cowpuncher anymore. I want to be a rancher.
Okay.
I'm gonna take to find a town where no one knows you or what you've done and start over. I like the idea that something happened for me to be disinherited.
Okay.
That one's too obscure. I don't. To prove that the boss is an outdated concept.
Yeah, how
Yes,
philosophical
smash the
that
system.
was.
Yes.
I love the idea too of the drifter. I hope you pick that one because I like the drifter who's like just lonely and whistling and like just pops out from behind a barrel in the middle of an unrelated conversation and is like the divine rights of kings, we must topple the boss. And then just to whistling his tune.
Eat
Okay,
the
he's like-
rich.
Do you all have a union? A little bit about unions.
Oh,
He's like, we should unionize. It's like, you don't work.
yeah, but then you'll need a union boss, and I can do that job.
And then you have to topple yourself.
I know.
He's a member of the Drifter Union.
To prove to your now dead father that they raised a real rattlesnake,
All right.
Okay.
because that's the one that kind of makes the least sense, but could be the most fun to figure out why.
Nice.
We start playing and Rev's just like, I'm a real snake.
A little.
A literal rattlesnake.
I wanna flick my tongue out and smell.
Skilled in whistling, which is hugely impressive because you don't have lips.
My rattle goes so fast that it goes hypersonic and whistles.
All right, so the third step isn't really much of a step. Your starting ruin is 1. But that ties into the fourth step, which is to select up to 3 becoming myth abilities, but each one you select increases your ruin by 1. So you can have up to 3 powers and start at 4 ruin. Or you can select no powers and just start with the 1 ruin. And by powers, I don't necessarily mean supernatural, but unique. So the becoming myth abilities are lead touch. You can immobilize something or someone with a bullet. First out the holster. Be the first to act in a dangerous situation. Salt of the earth. Earn immediate trust with common folk. The white hat. Be perceived as the good guy despite everything. Die with your boots on. Become immovable or navigate treacherous terrain. Get thee behind me. Compel an obstacle to remove itself. Hear the train a-comin'. Sense the location of nearest luxury. Sky knows the way. Use the sun or stars to navigate accurately. Standoff. Keep the peace so long as eye contact is maintained. Brother Coyote's gift. Find something by scent. Gila Monster's gift. Weep blood to intimidate/disorient others.
Yes.
Or Roadrunner's gift. Run quickly.
So we can choose up to 3 of these, but that means that our ruin will start at 4.
Yes, however many of these you select, your ruin starts at that plus 1, because you
Gotcha.
have 1 by default no matter what.
Okay.
Since I have the skill navigation, I'm already scrambling all of the things and how they work. Would taking something like this one to, use the stars and sun to navigate accurately, is that like doubling up? Is that overkill, or is that something that feeds off of?
I was going to ask that too with meteorology.
So let me remind myself, if you use one of your becoming myth abilities, I believe that you always make a ruin roll. Where did I read this? Where was that? Excuse me. Okay, you have to add a dark colored die whenever you use a becoming myth ability.
Cool.
I don't know that it's necessarily overkill, because I think it's sort of a degrees of success thing. Like a good navigation still might not quite get you what a good Sky Knows the Way could.
Gotcha.
Because navigation, or Sky Knows the Way, especially since it adds accurately, like you use the sun and the stars to navigate accurately, that implies to me that could get you more for less. Because any success is that you have navigated accurately, and navigation could be that you have navigated semi-accurately or something. But I think you could accomplish a lot of the same stuff with one or the other, so it might behoove you to branch out and cover more ground.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Anybody drawn towards anything?
Is this we separate these between us if we're going to take them? I mean, I probably wouldn't want to double up. I'm just curious if you could.
I don't think it says anything to suggest that you cannot double up. And Chaotic has made a good point. Getting a skill associated with your special ability is good to make the roll easier, because then you're rolling 2 different kinds of dice. You're adding more light dice and
Yeah.
dark dice.
So if you had Sky Knows the Way and you know navigation, because Sky Knows the Way has to have a dark dice, but because you have navigation, you're skilled in it, you get to add a light dice to that roll. So you're increasing your chances of your high number being a light die.
Interesting. Okay. Oh man, there's several of these that just seem really fun.
Yeah, I feel like Hear the Train a Comin' fits with a lot of the stuff that I've done. I also think the white hat would be really neat.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking like either die with your boots on or heal a monster's gift.
Nice.
Weeping Blood is just, I mean, like, it could cover so many,
Yeah.
you could apply it to so many situations.
Why does nobody talk to that guy very much? Oh my god.
I've sweated blood before. I've never cried blood.
Oh. Oh.
I was in college. I was really stressed.
And that's why I'll have to make a new character after the first 15 minutes, because every time I make eye contact with someone, I do it instinctively.
Just-
Even other characters. I'm just like, oh, hi.
he's just, you go into a new town and like you see the sheriff standing in the middle of town. He's like, "Don't worry, I've got this." Ah!
Now I'm just
well,
imagining like a literal snake just sort of rattling your tail and weeping blood.
Weeping blood.
You should also take Brother Coyote's gift so you can just sort of like tongue flick and be able to smell stuff. How many becoming myths are people thinking of taking? Is anyone risking getting more than one?
I'm considering 2.
I'm considering 2 as well.
You can also take none
Yeah.
if you don't want to up your ruin. Just be a real.
I mean, the rune's going to go up regardless.
And if I'm understanding correctly, the more you pick, the higher your ruin starts at, the sooner you can start sabotaging your teammates to reduce your ruin. So
Good.
I mean, listen. In a game like this, I'm not playing to win. I'm playing to lose in an interesting way. So
It's falling with style.
exactly.
Oh yeah, there's several of these I want, but I don't think I want to start with 4.
Start with all 3, baby.
4 ruin, yeah.
First out the holster just seems like generally useful.
Yeah.
yeah, assuming that you've always got a good idea of what to do.
Of what
first.
to do in a dangerous situation. Yeah, no, that's always the stressful thing.
The one I'm leaning towards is get thee behind me. I feel like there's something to be said about that, like working with animals, that there's this innate talent for like getting them to go where they want. That is just something a little extra beyond animal handling that helps with like everything he does. Yeah, that.
Yeah, you've got the clicker in one hand.
Mhm.
You do this thing with the other hand.
Pay the cheese tax and they go where you need to go.
There's a few that are really good.
What are you thinking?
I mean, first out the holster seems generally useful. If you don't get Hear the Train a Comin', I might get it. Seems useful for a prospector. I also think Roadrunner's gift could be useful.
Roadrunner's gift does seem broadly useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fast.
Yeah. I'm
That's as fuck, boy.
this is fuck boy.
Rev, you could take die with your boots on in its inconvenient cousin squat with your spurs on.
No, I think if you want to do hear the train a comin', I think you definitely could go with that one.
Boy, yeah, I could. Do I want to start with 3 of these?
Yeah, I'll do die with your boots on. But just I feel like being a successful drifter means that I've been able to get out of places.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
As far as hear the train a comin' making sense for a prospector, my read on that wouldn't be like it helps you sense like a gold vein, right? Like
Yeah.
to me, luxury would imply like a nice inn, a nice brothel or something like.
Oof.
But
That
not
could
just
be.
like
That's true.
rough.
That seems more like that's indulgence. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with the possibly to explain why my sister's in jail and I'm not. First out the holster and Roadrunner's gift.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Tass, which one did you take?
Get thee behind me, and there's like 3 more I really like. I'm only gonna, if I do any, I'll only do 1 more, but I can't decide if I should or want to.
Yeah, I'm thinking hear the train a comin', just of like, if she was originally somebody that grew up in a situation where she had a lot of wealth, was used to a lot of luxury, it would be like, oh, even if now she's not living that lifestyle, she'd still be able to like spot it. And then I think the white hat just sounds really interesting. Like,
Yeah, that seems very useful.
Yeah.
being able to like talk your way out of situations,
Mhm.
What are these called again, Jake? Like just the
These are your becoming myth abilities.
method.
They are equivalent to rituals in Trophy Dark's normal rules. They've just been
Okay.
reskinned.
I think I'm gonna take both of those.
Okay.
Cool.
T-Rex asks, are you playing with the new reduction rules, where if you are at Ruin 5 and you betray your fellow travelers, you can lower your Ruin, but if you fail the roll, they catch you doing it?
Interesting.
I don't think so. I mean, we are playing with the reduction rule is in here, but the getting caught if you fail is not. It seems like something goes wrong if you fail, presumably, but not necessarily that they catch you doing it. But I'm just playing off of the reduction rule text that is in this module.
Rev or Tass, are you grabbing a second one?
Ooh.
If I do,
What you
it'll
think?
be body picks because I don't necessarily need a second one.
Fair.
Yeah. Oh man. Like I like the idea of that sort of buff to Sky Knows the Way. Standoff sounds awesome.
I feel like standoff is also very thematically appropriate for your animal handling cowpuncher who can like get people to flinch or whatever. Like just maintaining eye contact with the charging bull and asserting dominance or whatever.
It's the velociraptors.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Fuck. All right.
Do it.
Oh, dinosaurs. I'm going to take the goddamn thing.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to take standoff.
Nice.
All right, cool. Now, what's everybody's third pick?
So,
Did you take a second one?
I did. I took first out the holster and Roadrunner's gift.
Rev, did you take a second one?
I didn't.
Are you going to?
I don't think so.
Okay. A modest drifter.
I mean, lead touch. I feel like any good gun could do that. No, I think I'm good with just die with your boots on. I think he's just good at getting out of bad situations.
Okay.
nice.
Man, yeah, I like lead touch. I mean, I like several of these that remind me of the gunslinger's deeds from Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. With your Becoming Myth abilities selected, increase your ruin for each one you picked. But that is it. That is characters created.
Did it.
Any questions about anything that you may have missed or are unclear on through this process? Seemed pretty solid.
Yeah, no.
Cool.
I'm getting rid of my
all right.
nickname because I don't want anyone to know that I'm a disgraced apothecary. Like, that doesn't make sense. I don't want anyone to know I'm disgraced.
Okay.
That's your nickname, disgraced.
This was wonder what his deal is.
All right. Does everybody want to give one final breakdown of who you are and what you're good at and stuff?
Sure. I'm playing Tilly Grimshaw, pronouns she, her. I am a prospector and a former petty criminal. My skills are appraisal, geology, determination, and opportunism. My drive is to get my sister out of Nag's Head jail with a well-placed bribe, and my Becoming Myth abilities are first out the holster, be the first to act in a dangerous situation, and Roadrunner's gift, which allows me to run quickly, and I'm starting with 3 ruin.
Oof. All right.
I am playing Catherine Collins, pronouns she, her. My occupation is farmer/homesteader. My background is disinherited wastrel. My drive is to find a town where no one knows you or what you've done and start over. My skills are endurance, meteorology, thrift, and indulgence. And my, what are they called? Not rituals.
Becoming Myth.
Becoming Myths. Things are hear the train a-comin', sense the location of nearest luxury, and the white hat, be perceived as the good guy despite everything.
Nice.
I am Rufus Friendly, he, him pronouns. I am a cowpuncher, former rail spike driver, which gives me the skills of animal handling, navigation, brawling, and coordination. My drive is to acquire a parcel of land for ranching, a place they, whoever they are, can't take. My Becoming Myth abilities are get thee behind me. I can compel an obstacle to remove itself, and standoff. Keep the peace so long as eye contact is maintained, which starts me out with 3 ruin as well.
I'm Aloysius Carver, he, him. I am a drifter and disgraced apothecarist. My skills are loneliness, whistling, hiding, and medicine. And I want to prove to my now dead father that they raised a real rattlesnake. And my rituals are, it's not ritual in this, it's Becoming Myth.
Becoming Myth.
Yep.
Is die with your boots on. I can become immovable or navigate treacherous terrain.
Perfect. I'm never going to not laugh at whistling, and I'm never going to not laugh at cowpuncher.
And real
Become a real rattlesnake.
Let's hunt us an outlaw.
Yeah.